Namaste, yoga friends. Welcome to today's Kids Yoga Meets Astrology. And there are two things we're going to talk about today for our astrology for the week. And the first being, we just started a Mercury retrograde a couple days ago. And Mercury retrograde is when Mercury appears to be going in the opposite direction or backwards. It's not really, but it's just how it appears for us. But the energy of that happening does affect us and your children. And there's a book for adults. I love it. It's called the Mercury Retrograde book. It's written by Yasmin Boland, and it covers everything about a Mercury retrograde. Things like you shouldn't get a new hairstyle or haircut during a Mercury retrograde. Your regular style is fine, but not a new one. You shouldn't go into any contract signing during a Mercury retrograde. It is not a good time to buy electronics like a computer or a car or anything like, or even a house. If you're able to put it off, you put it off. Otherwise, you should dot every I and cross every T several times over. Because what usually happens in a Mercury retrograde is you will have to go back and fix something from that or redo something, or the contracts will fall apart, or things will just not work out the way they should. A perfect example of that is one of my yoga studios. I did the lease on a Mercury retrograde, and I knew I shouldn't be astrology wise, but I was going to lose the place if I did it. And I dotted every I and crossed every T, but it wound up just not working out long term. And so I will always remember that, oops, did that during a Mercury retrograde, my bad. And um, so Mercury retrogrades really make you revisit things, and it brings past things back, or things that you just have to redo. Your children too, they might have something to do with their schoolwork they never expected they had to redo, or it disappeared, or who knows. But it has a lot of things that make you slow down. During a Mercury retrograde, it's a slow down period, which is kind of funny because right now we're entering the second thing I want to talk about, a new zodiac sign if you study Western astrology. And that's what I'm here to talk about today. And that is, we are going from Pisces season that we've been in, a very very emotional season, very cloudy in our heads kind of season, into Aries. Here's my baby Aries book. And I just love this book because it's an awesome for your kids to understand, especially younger children in young school age. It teaches them what the Aries sign is like, what some of their qualities are like. And for those of us that are grown-ups, the sign or glyph for Aries is the ram horns. And that is because they will go charge full speed ahead. And now is the time to go full speed ahead if there's something you've been putting off doing, maybe even in your own home that you've put off, like clearing things out and cleaning up and reorganizing. I know I've been in that mood this past week and doing that. Maybe there's a new project you've been putting off wanting to start. Now is the perfect time. And actually, there's one day a year when the sun lines up side by side in its path, it seems, with the North Node. The North Node is what your purpose is, where you're going, why you're here. Aries are all about that. Aries are here to do their mission. They are here to change things, and they just won't let things get in their way. So that's an Aries energy. And it just so happens on the day after the sun and the North Node are conjunct like that, that Aries starts, or it's within 12 hours. So very cool energy we're going into. It's a faster energy than we've been in. And wow, it hasn't seemed like a slow energy that we've been in if you live here in the United States. There has just been things changing left and right every day. It's making our heads spin. I know it's making my head spin. And if it's been making your head spin and just not know what to think, what to believe, what you hear and see, if it's really real, no, that's part of being in a water sign, or especially Pisces, the last zodiac sign of the calendar year. So it's actually the first day of the new year for us, that we are celebrating a new astrology year starting right now. So the astrology years are different than the Western calendar. And even in astrology, there's two different times that they have Aries starting. The Vedic astrology, which I'll probably do another video on and talk about, they're going to still be in Pisces season for a little bit, another few weeks or month. So, and they just follow a little bit of a different system. But right now, we're going to just talk about Aries getting all of those goals accomplished. This is the time to begin and start. Don't put it off. What you can do today, don't put off till tomorrow. You have a whole month to do this. And even with your children, I know there are some children that sometimes you have to really push them to do things. And everybody has their own parenting style of how they do it. But this is definitely the time to give them some of that adrenaline shot. It's like having a shot of adrenaline, to be honest, a shot of caffeine, a shot of espresso if you drink coffee. So I wanted to just share that with you. Now, during this time, switching signs and going into what's called a fire sign. Aries are known as a fire sign. We're leaving Pisces, that's a water sign. That shift might cause a little bit of turmoil, because think about water and fire mixing. What happens? There's two things that happen. Either it fizzles out, but lately it's been more like things are boiling over. So we're going to boil over in a pose that I love. You could do sitting in a chair, sitting on the floor, or standing and jumping up, called the volcano, where we're going to explode out whatever emotions you're having, or your child. Let it out. They can yell it out as loud as they want to. You can think it and shout it internally out. You can close your eyes and just imagine it leaving your body. You do a couple of those and it really clears your whole aura, and we call it the arc line all around you. Namaste. Happy Aries season. Happy first day of the Zodiac New Year. And to all of you who enjoy Mercury retrogrades and redoing things, happy Mercury retrograde. My name is Doreen Foxwell, and I will see you next time.